Oh yeah, God no, we're not reading that. All right, perfect. We're in the arena. So we have Deepwater Hooligans bringing. I think it's actually the same setup they brought earlier today, but Ride My Turtle is bringing something totally different and very exciting. Ithaca, tell me all about that.
Right, so Ride My Turtle on your screen in blue, bringing a triple Maelstrom comp along with a Rapier, a Tornado, a Bifrost, two Kierans, and two Garmers. So someone has looked at the big numbers on the Alpha Strike of RT Maelstroms and RT Tornadoes and went, hey, that might work. Or alternatively, they've looked at the high numbers of Autocannon Maelstroms and went, hey, that might work as well. But will it? Will it, Bart?
I'm not entirely sure here. They are, in fact, autocannon maelstroms and an autocannon tornado, which is a little bit weird, but I guess we're going to go with it. There is a ton of DPS here, and not only is there lots of DPS here, there's also a rapier, which means that they might, Ride My Turtle might be able to do what the last team to fight Deepwater Hooligans couldn't do, and actually tackle and kill those Fleet Typhoons. So, if they get them, I don't think Fleet Typhoons are going to live long versus a Maelstrom. Like that's a ton of DPS.
Yeah, it is, and they are notoriously slow though. That's the problem. Whereas Fleet Typhoons are very quite quick, so they might be able to just kite around and get away from these Arty Maelstroms and just pummel them from range. But I mean, we'll find out as the match is starting in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and right away we are seeing it's either a sensor booster or tracking computers on the Maelstroms, which is really interesting as they are shield fit, so they're probably not particularly tanky. The Rapier of Cable Utah is already screened and tackled by the Garmer of Pixie Thief, but look at the damage. So that Typhoon Fleet Issue is grappled and webbed already, so Plutus is getting tons of damage onto him, and this time he's not getting away.
It looks like he
Oh,
might be
he's
trying to
MJDing
MJD away
away.
though. He's trying to MJD away. That could be huge because if he gets away and then gets ripped back up again, it's a lot of damage that is lost. So he's been scrammed, so he's not going to get away. That's massive. The
He
Rapier of
almost got
Cable
away,
Utah
though.
is still getting chunked though. He isn't a very low shield. At this point, if they can trade that Fleet Typhoon for that Rapier, that is a lot of control off the field for Ride My Turtle.
Somehow this Rapier's holding in 30%, but the Typhoon Fleet Issue, I believe he might actually be out of range of some of the Maelstroms. A Kieran just gets popped, so a Deepwater Hooligan just swapped and blew up a Kieran right away. I think they're trying to clear that, clear as much of those reps as possible, and Plutus is somehow holding. He's started to bleed structure just a tiny, tiny bit here, but he's surviving.
Yeah, he's just living to win as Cable, though, in that Rapier now with only a single Kieran, still somehow surviving. So he's probably been running through an XLASB. He's probably out of charges very soon, if not already, and we'll be boosting on Cap. So they might be able to take this Rapier down before the loss of this Fleet Typhoon, which will be a big, big swing towards, away from Ride My Turtle, I should say.
Yeah, it does look like the Rapier is dropping. He's in low structure. They just lost another Kieran, just got randomly popped, and Cable Utah is sitting at like 3% shield. He does go down, and Plutus is somehow tanking here. I think that we might have seen a little bit of Battleship out piloting there on Ride My Turtle's side, because I'm not sure if they're still trying to go for the Typhoon fleet, but the battleships are kind of orbiting him, and that's never a good way to do DPS. Plutus is now bleeding structure. He's getting pretty low here. It looks like Ride My Turtle has in fact stopped their ships and are pressing F1 as hard as they possibly can. So I don't think Plutus is long for this world at this point.
Yeah, you can be guaranteed that they're all shouting about using all the heat, but don't burn out your guns because they really have to get Plutus down. The longer he's alive, the more DPS is being put onto the rest of the Ride My Turtle team, which right at the moment seems to be Yorgo in that Maelstrom. There you go, one Fleet Typhoon down, so a big, big chunk of DPS off the field for Deepwater Hooligans. But is it too little too late? I mean, losing that Rapier is huge, and of course both Kieran's means that Tornado just gets eviscerated right now. So it could still go either way, but it's very much in the control of Deepwater Hooligans.
It is, but Ride My Turtle does still have all three of their Maelstroms up, and Maelstroms do self-rep a pretty high amount. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to survive through that Fleet Typhoon, but we will see. Both Maelstroms did just get screened, and so they're having to switch and kill the Astarte, which is actually dropping way faster than those Typhoon Fleet Issues were. Now that I said that, he is now boosting back up, so we'll see what happens here. Ride My Turtle, their Maelstroms are kind of stuck in place. They're not really able to go anywhere, but Yorgo is tanking quite well. So I think that they're going to need to like switch to something closer to them, because Maelstroms are autocannon fit, and autocannons do not shoot that far.
Yeah, I mean, this Maelstrom is obviously just surviving on his local tank right now. Once that runs out, he doesn't have the Kierans anymore to keep him alive, so he's probably going to go down as soon as that XLASB is out of charges. Meanwhile, almost nothing on the Deepwater Hooligan side is really under any pressure right now. It's an armor team, and everything is sitting at full armor. looks like they're trying to get rid of this Enyo, who was doing God's work screening off 3 Maelstroms there with the double Enyo Garmer tackle wing. I mean, all the time they spend shooting an Enyo with RT Maelstroms, they're getting pummeled by the Fleet Typhoon and the Astarte most likely, which is it's not a great position to be in.
Yeah, it does look like at least Justice's Maelstrom is burning straight to. Oh, there goes the Garmer. Huh? They finally took that out. But Justice's Maelstrom was burning for Tamax's Oneros and was doing a little bit of damage, but he just got screened off as well. Like, I don't know, Ride My Turtle needs to grab something and just go after it. It does look like they do have grapples on their Maelstroms, which means they are able to do some level of tackle, but two of those Maelstroms are scram webbed down. I don't know if they are able to actually hit the ships that are tackling them.
Yeah, I mean, a Maelstrom's not exactly known to be speedy, and these three moving at just around 100 meters per second. Meanwhile, if you look at that Fleet Typhoon over there, doing well over 1.2k. So the Fleet Typhoon can really only be caught if he kind of screws up now. Same with almost every ship on that Deepwater Hooligan side. If they screw up and get too close to a Maelstrom or get caught out by a elite micro jump unit play, then they deserve to die. But the match is theirs if they don't do that. Although that Oneros is kind of eating shit right now.
Yeah, I think they're slowly whittling him down with Barrage, which is pretty decent. But Justice is actually starting to drop into structure. We're seeing him boost. The big question is will the boosts last longer than the Typhoon Fleet Issues clip? And usually that wouldn't be a thing, but it's entirely possible this time. I mean, we're seeing him very slowly bleed structure here, and actually, Telrim's Confessor just is getting hit. So I think Ride My Turtle has finally realized that yes, you do in fact want to clear tackle so your ships can do some damage, but I'm not sure if that's a little bit too late here as Justice is dropping down into low structure, still barely holding on with those boosts though. I'm not sure. This is. Oh no, he does not make it. It's very close.
Yeah, so now it's just the 2 Maelstroms left. So the points deficit right now for Ride My Turtle down at 25 versus 56 for Deepwater Hooligans. So as mentioned, really is in the hands of Deepwater Hooligans just not to screw this one up too badly. The Oneros is taking a lot of damage, and he is looking perhaps a little bit worried. I think probably Repbot's going to keep him alive for now against the long range damage of 2 Maelstroms, but he isn't in a comfortable armor position right now.
Yeah, if one of those Maelstroms is able to get free and get a little closer, they could probably take him down really quickly. The Rep drones are actually starting to pull him up just a little tiny bit here. The Bifrost of Bubba is dropping, so we just have the 2 Maelstroms left. I'm not sure if there's anything they can do here. Like they definitely have grapples and they have a fair amount of potential DPS. Yorga is untackled and now retackled again, so I'm not. Yeah, they're kind of just stuck there. They can't really do anything.
What they have to do is just kill the things that are tackling them. They've done it to Telrim in that Confessor. They got him grappled and then they just blapped him. If they can shed enough of this tackle in the next maybe a minute, they might be able to try and pin down some of the high points targets on Deepwater Hooligan side. But it is quite a lot to ask for in 3 minutes at this point, especially with Yorgo now dropping through armor.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good amount of damage to Rich Thugster here, but Yorgo is dropping faster than the Confessor, which is something you never want to see with your battleship pilots. So I really liked Ride My Turtle's setup. I think that they had a lot of potential here, but just the small ship piloting and the tackle and the screening on Deepwater Hooligans is so on point. And, that's the second time today we've seen them just flying really, really well. And Yorgo does drop here to the damage. The reload of that Typhoon Fleet issue happens and they take them down, which means Loki is the last Maelstrom. And if 2 Maelstroms weren't able to do it, I'm not sure if one is.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much exactly the problem that Ride My Turtle are facing right now is that they just don't have any control or that much DPS left. I mean, an AC Maelstrom does do a lot of damage, but it's not very mobile. It doesn't have much control. And when things that you're trying to kill are mobile and need to be kind of controlled to let you apply your big DPS numbers, then, well, you kind of up shit creek without a paddle, basically.
Yeah, we're seeing the large battleship guns versus small things has been a consistent theme of the tournament for years and years and years. And, the Maelstrom is just not applying. On paper, tons of DPS. We love seeing them. They do so much damage if they can get on something. But as Loki goes down into structure and dies here, we are seeing that at the end of the day, if you get screened, there's really not all that you can do. And with that, it was a little bit close, but Deepwater Hooligans does win 100-25, getting rid of Ride My Turtle. And we're going to send it back to ourselves here.